My reinforcements have arrived for more analysis of the Romney tape. We really need a couple of hours for this because it is. You've listened to the whole thing. Yeah.
On an endless times.
I don't want to admit it. I can't admit it.
All right, let's get to Romney's desperate fear of Hispanic voters. Let's listen to this.
Where they don't shut it down with Hispanic voters. And if the Hispanic voting bloc becomes as committed to the Democrats as the African American voting bloc has in the past, while we're in trouble as a party and I think as a nation.
So that sick and stupid man just said that the Hispanic vote is a threat to the nation. He thinks we're in trouble, not just as a Republican Party.
Right.
The nation is in trouble if the Hispanic vote decides to vote Democratic.
Because they vote wrong. Yeah, I mean, if he had stopped it as a party, that would have been actually some coherent political analysis on the part of Mitt Romney.
Right, and
it's
other
true.
thoughtful people have said that. Let this happen to the party.
Exactly, that if the Republican Party doesn't figure out a way to encroach upon the Hispanic vote, then they probably are going to wither away and die as a party. But he had to go and add that last bit, as a nation, because, of course, anything that the Democratic Party wants to do is a fundamental threat to the core existence of the United States.
Well, Karen, you know, the question people are grappling with, and I don't think it's hard, is this: does he really believe this? I think this Romney that we're hearing is the very first Romney we've ever heard who really believes what he's saying.
Sure.
He thinks the Hispanic vote is a threat to this nation. He does believe that.
Well, and how about the fact that if you go back to the 2006 debate on immigration, and it's still rumbling out there with his good friend, Steve King and others, who truly believe, I mean, when they talk about those people and immigrants, they believe they're a danger to this country. They believe their very existence coming to this country is a danger to this country. And I did love the part, it's like, well, we've already lost the African Americans, we've lost the blacks, so now let's see if we can get the Latinos and save this country. I mean, it's stunning, though, also in that it shows that within the Republican Party, I do believe there's this divide of people who just don't get it, that there just aren't enough white voters in this country anymore to think like that. There just aren't and win a national election. I mean, we are a minority country. We are diverse racially, ethnically, religiously. Deal with it. And he doesn't want to
didn't even offer any way to get the Hispanic vote.
Here's how the threat to the nation looks tonight in the polls. 68% of Latinos say they will vote for President Obama. 26% say they will vote for Mitt Romney. He can now bank on that 26% going down. Now let's listen to what else he had to say about how much he wishes, of course as a joke, that he was Latino.
My dad, you probably know, was the governor of Michigan and was the head of a car company, but he was born in Mexico. And had he been born of Mexican parents, I had a better shot at winning this, but he was not. Unfortunately, one of Americans living in Mexico. He lived there for a number of years, and I say that jokingly, but it'd be helpful if he,
I have to point out here last night to our audience that, of course, his family was in Mexico because they fled the laws of the United States, which so oppressively limited his great-grandfather to one wife at a time. He needed 5 at a time, which he could only do in Mexico. And that's why they were there. But, this idea of, they all laugh when he says, he says, it would be helpful to be a Latino. And that whole audience laughs because they know, no, it wouldn't, Mitt. You wouldn't get to be this big, vain hero if you had grown up that way.
Well, and again, it shows a complete lack of understanding of this country, of people in this country, of Latinos, and for the Latino immigrant story in this country. Those are, the Latino community, they're some of the most optimistic people. They come to this country to try and do better because they're taking personal responsibility, because they want to do better. And even though a large percentage live close to or at the poverty line, which are the 47% he was talking about, again, this is a very optimistic community and a community that believes in the idea of personal responsibility and working your way up and doing better, and yet, that's not what he's talking about at all. That's not how he's reflecting the community at all.
But they are a population to be laughed about in a Republican fundraiser.
Well, because being, a Latino is just a sweet deal. I think only being an African American is just a better benefit in this country. Look, the thing is,
we have it easy. Well,
got all this break. All those, Latino presidents. I test that. No, I mean, the problem is there are a lot of conservatives that do believe that minorities in this country do have it better than them. They get all this
I
special
think these
stuff,
people
this
believe
special
everything he was
they
saying.
absolutely do. They think that being Latino gives you some kind of special affirmative action leg up into the presidency. They really think
This
that.
is a real window into their country club,
Absolutely.
which, by the way, includes utterly demented magical thinking. You know, each one of these pieces of tape needs much more analysis from us, but I want to go to this one about Romney's magical plan to make the economy better as president by doing exactly nothing. Let's listen to this.
But my own view is if we win on November 6th, there will be a great deal of optimism about the future of this country. We'll see capital come back, and we'll see, without actually doing anything, we'll actually get a boost to the economy.
Without actually doing anything,
Just by
Joy,
being Mitt.
it's going to be great.
Just by doing
Just by
me.
being
Just
Mitt.
by doing me, we're going to make it all better.
We're gonna make it better.
That goes to what I believe is his real reason to be that he wants to be president. Just because. Why not? I've been a CEO. I've run the Olympics. I've been a governor. What else is left? Let's go be president. That's it. Just because. And just because I'm president, it'll all be better.
Right, and I mean, isn't that sort of the CEO mentality? I mean, part of the problem with these, you know, you look at Enron, you look at sort of the attitude of Wall Street guys and hedge fund guys, they think that their own innate genius is all this country needs to succeed.
This was a look into the poison of those minds. Karen Finney and Joy Reid, thank you both for joining me tonight. Coming up, we'll have more of the Mitt Romney